what platforms a restaurant could use to activate marketing campaigns? Now we were speaking about Uber Eats, but
Yeah.
what other platforms we could do marketing campaigns on?
Um, so platforms, or so the latest trends, as I just mentioned, were that the AI menus and the third party. So your DoorDash, I'm mentioning that because I think they were a sponsor of the National Restaurant Conference in Melbourne, which has been postponed now. So they're a new player in the market. Uber Eats, those ones. But AI menus, that's become, I'm here from the Gold Coast, so that's something that's really having a big effect here on our local restaurants. Is when you go out, it's like, oh, you order everything online. There's a, so that's one of our latest trends here on the Goldie is, all these menus that are you just order from the table. You don't even have to deal with the waitress or the salesperson or the point of sale. Right. You just order straight from your phone. So that's something that's really, I think, as if I had a restaurant right now, that would be something I would be integrating into my business practices, is having, any way just to be able to meet the market and
that's right.
Make it easier for them to purchase.
And what other platforms? Like I'm also thinking, like with a little bit of creativity or with a little bit of thought process, you can even open up your Facebook advertising and run a campaign on that. Instagram, email, SMS.
Facebook and Instagram is probably one of the more hotter platforms right now because it's visual, so you can see what your food looks like. You can see how you can put a video and see how a cocktail is being made. Another really good platform is Google My Business. So this is something that I do see a lot of, that people don't actually claim their Google My Business. That is linked to your reviews. That's linked to your Google Maps. You can put events on Google My Business. Say, you've got this, a party, you might have a special event for your Father's Day, or and that's linked to Google. So, and that then goes into your Google advertising. So Google My Business, I find, is definitely an underrated platform that should be used a lot more by a lot of businesses. And it's really sad to see that they're not taking advantage of, if I see a business that's got, 55 reviews or 180 reviews, I'm going to use that. I'm going to go there because there's people that have got, a lot of positive reviews there. And if there's ones that have zero or a lot of negative reviews, and it's like, well, okay, how has that business dealt with those negative reviews? We always have a lot of scammers around. It happens in any industry. And I see a lot on the channel chats, like the social media chats, about, negative responses. But a genuine customer will, if there's a hair in a food, or if there's things that happen, life happens, but it's how you deal with the situation. And in hospitality, especially, we're used to dealing with customer complaints. I think it's one of the things that most businesses excel at, is customer service. That's what hospitality is about. And it comes down to your social media, your reviews, your Google My Business reviews, on how you respond. It's just another version. It's an online version, but that's Perfect. The things that are left behind. When you've got a real life situation, people are just left with a feeling, but you know what, your Google review will be there 6 months, 12 months later. And I think that's a really important platform for people, for business owners to take advantage of. And that's it's free. Right. It's free. Well, so
no brainer. Google My Business is obviously it is on Google, and most research this decision gets done on Google, moving on from Google all the way to your socials to, get in-depth research about your place before making a final decision if they should book at that place or not. Very, very important, to have your Google listing optimized. Most people don't even have it claimed.
Yeah.
So highly suggest get your Google My Listing claimed, optimize it, fix it. Very, very important.
And that comes also, sorry to interrupt, that also comes to places like TripAdvisor and Australian Good Food Guide. Is those, again, are like another version of an Uber Eats, but people go to those platforms to see what, there are reviews on there. So claiming those ones, again, are free to make sure your business is, have you got your right logo in there? Is your business represented correctly? Again, these are all free strategies that don't take long. And if a business owner can't do it, get someone that can do it, that's a little bit savvy, but they're not hard to do.
And if you're you've spoken about TripAdvisor. If you are in a tourist spot, 100%, you need to make sure TripAdvisor is fully optimized at all times, along with your Google listing, because that's where tourists find you first. Then they move on to your website and socials. Locals, more likely they'll find you on social or Google. But if you're in a tourist spot, 1000% focus on TripAdvisor, Google. SEO is super important if you're in a tourist spot.
Well, especially because I'm here on the Gold Coast, so I live in Broadbeach, and I go a lot to surfers. I was working in surfers for a long time as well, so it is a strategy here. We are a tourist destination, and it's something that is utilised by the restaurants that have been around. Those ones, TripAdvisor is a major opportunity for them, because that's how people are looking. I mean, we could do geo-targeting, but that gets a bit more in depth, right? TripAdvisor is one of those straightforward, simple platforms to use. Just to make sure your business is represented correctly, is the right logo there? Have you got the right details on there, the right address, the right phone number? Really simple strategies like that don't take long. And it all comes
food images, interior images, exterior.
How do you want to brand and showcase your business? So those to me are strategies that are really important for a business to do.
That's right. See, what a wonderful topic. We are forever students, even though that we're talking about stuff today, we've done a ton of things in the past, but we are forever students. There's a lot to learn, and I don't think we will learn enough any time. Doesn't matter how old we get.
I think business is evolving, and marketing especially has taken a lot of shifts in the last 10-15 years, especially with digital marketing. We've got how businesses, when I first had my restaurants 10-15 years ago, there wasn't a lot. It was traditional only, so you had the yellow pages and the newspapers. There wasn't a lot, and it was really hard work to know what worked, whereas now we have this whole digital landscape, and it's completely different, but we need to take advantage of it, because everyone's got a mobile phone. We all have these little devices and iPads and all the rest of it. Everything's moving online, but it becomes more streamlined as well. So
that's right.
We just need to. It's about taking more responsibility as an owner and going, okay, I'm in charge of my business, and what do I want people to see me as?
That's right.